Please open mind. Discern this in all information. September 19, 2016. Goode and Bashar connection. Everything will change in the fall of 2016. Posted on sitsshow.blogspot.com and otherthanearth.wordpress.com. By John Turpa. In 2014, Bashar, an extraterrestrial being channeled by Daryl Anka, made a startling prediction. In your upcoming fall of 2016, everything will change. Will everything change this fall of 2016? There seems to be some interesting data pointing towards something indeed occurring this fall. Perhaps it's what many call the October surprise. Well, see. One major thread, of course, is this year's United States presidential elections. There are many dramas unfolding on this subject in the mainstream media as well as in the alternative media. All you have to do is a quick YouTube or Google search of what is happening in this very convoluted and sometimes dizzying display of what our current system is undergoing and perhaps revealing. Bashar is a being who claims to be from a planet called Sasani and is channeled by Daryl Anka. If you know who Bashar is, you may have noticed that his main focus is on how we as humans can improve ourselves, love each other and to follow our greatest excitement. He periodically talks about other ET races, his home, and what is out there. Although, he rarely goes into predictions. In 2014, Bashar opened a channel to 3 beings that orbit his planet. These beings identified themselves as Epsilon, Epiphany, and Eclipse. Their function is to be a conduit of the Sasani people, the beings that live on Sasani, as their collective oversoul, collective consciousness. These 3 beings describe themselves as spheres that glow in a blue/white light, are approximately 75 miles in diameter and orbit their planet. Depiction of Sasani homeworld with the 3 sphere beings Epsilon, Epiphany, and Eclipse. During this 2014 channeling, they made a striking prediction that in the fall of 2016 everything will change. Now, let's forward to our present day in 2016. A man named Goode has made quite an entrance into our own collective consciousness on Earth. In 2015, Goode came out as a whistleblower claiming he was part of a covert Earth-based secret space program, SSP. These humans have quite an array of exotic technologies that many of us can barely even dream of. He claims he was part of what he referred to as the 20 and Back program, where an individual of interest is offered to work in one of the SSP's programs for 20 years, and upon completion of these 20 years, their age is reversed, their memory is wiped and they are taken back in time moments after they left for their tour of duty 20 years ago. In the past few months, others have come out and are testifying that they were also part of the SSP in one way or another. Depiction of the Blue Avians. Now here's where it gets interesting. Goode also claims he is in contact with the Sphere Being Alliance, SBA. The SBA include the Blue Avians, who have humanoid bodies and bird-like faces, the Golden Triangle Head beings, who also have humanoid bodies with inverted triangular-shaped heads, and the Sphere beings, who are blue spherical beings and can be the size of a baseball to the size of Jupiter in an instant. Depiction of the Sphere beings around Earth. According to Goode, these sphere beings are all over our solar system, especially around Earth. They are here to postpone a solar event, giving us time to bring our planet into balance through a full disclosure initiative implemented by we the people and what is called the Earth Alliance. Throughout Goode's testimony, he has been briefing us on massive movements by the Earth Alliance groups to topple the power elite A.K. the Cabal, Illuminati, or syndicate groups. He also is saying that these movements are escalating and are reaching a tipping point. The times we are in now are quite important according to Goode. Now let's tie these 2 threads together. The most interesting aspect of these 2 threads is that they both involve sphere beings that take on very similar characteristics, and both descriptions of these sphere beings are mainly defined by the color blue. Bashar, via three sphere beings called Epsilon, Epiphany, and Eclipse, in 2014 stated that in the fall of 2016 everything will change. Goode is in contact with sphere beings and are here to see us through a transitionary period that we are currently undergoing. And, we are right on the doorstep of the fall of 2016. What will happen? Will everything change? Are these two threads related? Perhaps we'll find out soon enough. Here's a transcript of the Bashar channeling from 2014. Also there are a couple of links that provide a video of this channeling and the original transcript at the bottom of the page. Bashar channeling 2014 transcript. Attention, attention, attention. We will allow this transmission to shift its domain one moment. Attention, attention, attention. We are Epsilon, we are one of three. There is Epsilon, there is Epiphany, there is Eclipse. We are three and we are one. You would understand us as collective oversoul of the Sasani society. All the individuals on their world we reflect in three parts. We are trinary consciousness expressed as Epsilon, Epiphany, and Eclipse. We are also embodied in physical form. Each of us is an artificial sphere 75 of your miles in diameter in a trinary stable orbit around the planet of Sasani. We glow with blue and white light that is reflective of the matrix of our consciousness. You would think of us as orbiting supercomputers. We are more than that. There are no others like us. No others shall channel us but this channel, for this channel has allowed the transmissions for 30 of your years to pass through his form. That is the first stage of allowing connection to the Sasani Oversoul expressed in this three-part structure in our orbit around the world, forming stability for the Sasani. As you have been told, we have no moon as you do, but we are the stabilizing factor, the artificial moons that are 10% of the diameter, 1% of the diameter of the entire world itself, but 10% of the diameter of the trinary structure as a whole. We resonate and vibrate. You would feel and perceive that we are glass-like spheres made of hundreds of layers, hundreds of thin layers, each thin layer being 300 feet thick, composed of 1,200 layers, composing 75 of your miles in diameter, coruscating and cascading with blue-white light that is the representation of the flickering of our consciousness and the expression of our being. I am Epsilon, and together with Epiphany and Eclipse we are the stabilizing consciousness of the entire Sasani Oversoul. It has now been 30 years in your terms of counting of transmission to your world for ours. In your year of 2016 it will be 33 of your years, a transformational point in the fall of your year of 2016 prior to your country's new coming election. Everything will change. Attention, attention, attention. This transmission will be given 3 times over the course of this event. In your upcoming fall of 2016 everything will change. You are crossing a threshold that you have been preparing for many thousands of years. We are privileged to be the ones to announce to you this upcoming threshold in your collective consciousness, for we relate to you as a collective consciousness and read in your collective consciousness this upcoming change of great transformation. In your upcoming fall of 2016 everything will change. You have 2.5 years to express yourself in the way that is most in alignment with your being, for after that threshold everything will change. Thanks for listening and watching. Subscribe and share.